I'm Kinley, and I am the co-founder of Power Yoga Canada and Power Yoga Collective. We started it in 2009, and we opened one location in Mississauga years ago. And then we opened our Oakville location in 2011, which really became our flagship. And that first location we closed, and then we started to do affiliates. And so we have the vision really was to share power yoga because it had changed Pauline Caballero, my business partner, and I. It had changed our lives profoundly, and we just wanted to share what we've gotten from the practice. And I know for me personally, my intention wasn't to have a whole bunch of studios. I just wanted to teach yoga and lead teacher trainings, and I loved sharing this transformative work. And it just kept blossoming this beautiful community, and now we have over 13 locations. And we just moved to Cleveland, and we opened one in Cleveland this year. My son is going to school there. His father's American, so we're just following my child, and giving an opportunity to go to school for a few years here in the States. But which has been perfect for Power Yoga Canada, because then we were able to open a Power Yoga Collective studio. So it's our first American studio, which is kind of exciting. And we will be hosting a fall training there, and it'll be online. I've been teaching yoga since 2004. Oh my God, that's 20 years.
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
never thought about that. 20 years. And I, uh, I just feel really blessed to get to do this amazing work. Right now, I'm in Florida on a family vacation, and I've got a whale above my head here. It's a beautiful yellow wall. But I'm looking forward to hopefully, being on the journey with all of you into the depths of who am I. The teacher training, the 200 hour, is all about seeking the truth of who you are. We're going to go through some slides that'll expand on that a little bit more about our culture, our community. And I also lead the 300-hour yoga teacher training program that's more modular, and that one is all about being of service out into the world. So in the 200-hour, it's all about turning inward into who am I, seeking the truth, and then the 300-hour is all about being of service out there from me to we. I have a son, he is 13, and I have a furry baby. And I love working with Nick and Pauline, and Pauline's here. So my business partner and I are also really good friends, and she's here also. We're having a family vacation together. All right, let's do it, Nick.
Okay.
Okay. I love that picture. See little Nick in the corner there?
That
Just a baby.
must have been taken, what, like 8 years ago?
About that.
Probably be 8 years ago, yeah.
So our what stands us apart? I heard a couple of you hadn't been to a PYC before, or some of you just been here and there. And those of you who have been, hopefully you have felt this when you walk through the doors of any of our locations, is our culture. And our culture is infused through our core values of speaking straight, listening generously, honoring commitments, being for each other, acknowledgments and appreciation, and diversity and belonging. And we infuse our core values through our programs like the yoga teacher training, like our energy exchange or the collective crew program. These are our workers in the studio, our volunteer program, and also through our affiliate program, all the owners who own the studios. But our mission is really about empowering you into action in your life. It's empowering communities into action. And, there's no word of yoga in there because for really what yoga is, it's a lifestyle. It's a way of being, a way of living on and off of your mat. And we are really about how can we wake you up to your highest potential? How can we help you find the power within yourself to heal yourself, to live into your truth, to inspire others, so that it becomes like a butterfly effect, and we just expand this out into the world and help everybody, everywhere, every person we come into contact with, live lighter, smile bigger, live a more authentic life. What's next, Nick? You want to do this one?
Yeah. So when I first started doing yoga, I did not think I'd be doing teacher training. It never even dawned on me that I would, I could do what they were doing at the front of the room. I did not think I was ready. I was, this shy guy in the back corner. I was very much more reserved. And 2019 came around, and I don't know what shifted inside me. It might have been an info session with Kinley. It might have just been I was Kinley's energy exchange member for a while at the studio, and it just something clicked. I was like, hey, maybe I can do this. And I think that's one important note to make is you may not think that you're ready, but there's no time like the present. Like you really are ready now. And this program meets you exactly where you're at in your practice, in your life, and gives you everything that you need in this moment. Doesn't give you anything more, doesn't give you anything less. It's really this beautiful transformative program where you don't have to be an advanced yogi. You don't need to know the poses or be a certain age, shape, or experience level. The only things that are very important is just coming from yes. Yes, I'll teach, I'll say some words and lead some of my yogi participants to a flow. Yeah, I will give up the voice in the back of my head that says I can't do this. And really coming from that place of being ready now, because there's no time like the present and life is so short. So I think that's one of the beautiful aspects of this training is it helps you understand that as well. It helps really bring that home. Yes, you will 100% leave with an improved yoga practice. We do a lot of yoga. You are going to be one of the best yoga teachers out there. If you put the effort in, if you put the work in, you will gain new meditation skills and techniques as we do a lot of meditation, and you get to lead meditation in the program as well. And then the discovery of your true authentic voice comes from you letting go of what you must. It comes from you just saying some words, teaching people how to do yoga, and realizing that like what you have to say, what you have to share is important. And that also comes through the different activities, the ontological work, the study of being, as Kinley was saying, the truth seeking in oneself. That's where you get to discover your true authentic voice. And then there's, like a 45-minute info session. We can't really put everything you're gonna get in these slides. It's impossible. And so that's also so important to take home.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm always in awe of at the end of the program. So we do an exercise at the beginning, at the end, where you make the list of everything like you've got from yoga, and then at the end, everything you've got from the training through the practice of yoga and all of the inquiry. And the number one thing that people talk about, or the list, when they first come in, it always is things like, oh, I can touch my toes now, or I can do a crow pose or something like that, like physical. I'm healthier now, less stressed. And then at the end of the program, the list always sounds like, I found my voice. I've made the best friends of my life. I healed a relationship with, my mom or someone, maybe like an in-law I haven't spoken to in years. Um, I'm excited about launching this creative project I have in mind. Like it's all these things that have nothing to do with teaching yoga, and it always fills me up with so much joy because you will leave with so much more. Absolutely guaranteed. I feel like we are one of the best programs out there in having everyone leave feeling really confident in teaching yoga. But there's so much more about who you are out in the world with your relationships and how you express yourself and just the freedom to be you and feel comfortable in your skin. And that's the stuff that I get really thrilled about by the end of the program when people are sharing that as an end result.
Mhm.
So what's next? So online. So after COVID hit, I was always a hard no, hard stop. We are not doing anything online. And then COVID hit, and it was like, okay, we have to go online. Nick's program actually, we had to finish online. We kept pushing it back, like, hey, we'll finish the program because we got shut down and everything. Like, we'll finish the program once we're open. And then we started to kind of feel like this isn't going anywhere. We got to like keep the program going. So we launched online, And it's actually one of the most surprisingly wonderful things we've ever done because we've been able to have people come from all over the world. We've had people Zoom in from other countries, and the results are amazing. I blew my own skepticism out of the water, and I'm very confident with our online portion of the program. If you happen to do it online or chunks of it online or the whole thing online, it's a very interactive, and we support you the whole time, and you're live with us the whole time. So there's like a big TV in the room, and um, you're engaged in the process the whole time. We utilize the breakout rooms really well. It's um, it's really cohesive and works really well. And we are all online, whether you're in person full time. We are all online in the mornings on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the fall program, and on the Wednesday nights. And then if you're in person in Cleveland, we're together from just after lunch for all the rest of the night till like 8 p.m. And it's only a 4 hour drive from Oakville. It's super fast. It's a really nice drive. I do it all the time. I come back up to Oakville about once a month, and sometimes twice a month. It's a super easy drive. So if you're thinking of doing this fall training with us, I recommend definitely coming down for at least one or two, or if you can do all the weekends, it'd be amazing. And there's a few of you can all carpool, which would be really fun too.
Hmm.
I don't know if we're talking about the Nicaragua, but we have booked a spring Nicaragua training too. It's an intensive, and then we also have the winter teacher training that will happen again in Oakville, and that's 7 weekends. Um, I know you might have a slide about all that stuff,
Yeah,
Heather.
yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
to
Yeah, and touching on
steal your
that,
thunder.
no, no, no. I love it when you just riff and share everything because it's all necessary. So as Kin mentioned, we have our fall program coming up from September to November. And we have our winter program as well, January till April in 2025. And we are, yeah, as Kinley mentioned, we're going to be going to Nicaragua, to Amaru, which is a resort that we went to this past April in 2024. And we brought 25 people down there and just had an absolute beautiful time. And whether you do fall, whether you do winter, whether you do Nicaragua, it's all the same content, right? So this 200-hour program, it can be done in a 4 weekend format, 7 weekend format, or the 12-day intensive that we do in Nicaragua. Those are the three styles we typically host it at.
It really just depends your how you like to learn. Some people like to learn intensively. Some people like a little bit more breathing space. So both the fall and the winter. The winter will have the most breathing space, obviously, because there's 7 weekends, and there's usually a weekend in between. There's a couple that are back to back, but you've got a bit more breathing space to kind of let things land. If you're like an immersive person, you like intensity, you like to just be thrown into the boiling pot, then Nicaragua is a 12-day intensive, and there's a bit more online prep work you'll have to do for that one, videos and things like that. But just kind of depends how you like to learn. If we were to statistically look at the programs and see, oh, does one produce more confident teachers? They all produce the same level. And we have some of our great teachers that came out of our COVID years where we were doing everything online, 100% online, and it just works. It doesn't matter where we are. The the work works, the ontological work works, and it really is what you want to put into it, is how much you get out of it. It's how much you participate with yourself, and your sharing is how much you get out of it. A typical day is the morning on Zoom, and that's usually the ontological work of being, a lot of journaling, sharing, inquiry, a lot of peeling away the layers of our inauthentic self. That's really the the meat of the program, of the discussions. And then we have a break, and you have time, if you're in Cleveland from a hotel or whatever, you can drive over to the studio, and then we're at the studio for the rest of the day. If it's the winter program, same thing we do here. We give you enough time to drive over to the studio, and then we're at Oakville for the rest of the day. And then the afternoon when we're together, whether you're online or in person, it's a mixture of yoga, labbing, meditating, and then some workshopping and different facilitators coming through. So the different chunks of the program, we have amazing facilitators come through teaching alignment, teaching anatomy, teaching chakras, looking at the history of yoga, and yeah, all of that happens throughout the afternoon. It's kind of broken up a little bit each day, and every day we practice teach. So every day you're going to be teaching yoga and getting your feet wet on the very first day. So we ease into that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So as we as we're online, we use Zoom for the online portions, and of course, you need access to the Wi-Fi or the internet. You could always tether off your phone for your laptop. I would say some people use tablets, most people use computers. You can use your phone to stream the online portions of this program. We'd recommend a tablet or a laptop so you can see a little bit bigger. You can see all the other participants as well if that's what the view you choose. And so, but as you can see, there's really not too many required tools to access this program. And with this program, we provide you with an extensive teacher training manual that has like over 400 pages, which becomes like your kind of like your Bible for teaching. It has so much knowledge and information in there. And when you sign up for teacher training, you also get access to our online programs. And as you can imagine, when COVID hit, we had to expand. And so we have PYC at home Zoom classes. We have an on demand platform as well. So you get 6 months of online programming that you can use at your pace.
And these are the three main practices, the asana, dhyana, and niyama. Is the physicalness of the practice. So we do yoga every time we're together. We meditate in some way every time we're together. And then we are in inquiry together. That might look like journaling, talking, sharing. It might look like on your mat, being curious about your body, your limitations, your mental blocks. And those are the three main practices that we do every time we're together. And then there is pre work and post work and work during the program. The main thing I want you to get from this slide is it's not like school. So whatever whatever trauma you have, whatever like PTSD you have around writing papers or getting assignments in on time or, citing them properly, it's nothing like that. So let all of that go. All of the papers you're going to write, all of the readings, it's all for you to be inspired by this like 2000, more than, thousands year old practice of yoga so that you are intrigued and interested and want to learn more about yourself, want to learn more about this beautiful practice. And all of your papers can be written as if you're journaling to yourself. So it can be very personal. You don't have to cite anything. It's for you. You do hand it in just so they know that everything's been accomplished. And there's an open book anatomy test. It's in your manual when you get it, so there's no fear of that. You're not being marked on the test. Again, I just need to know that you've done it. And then there's a service work element where you go out and be of service in the world, like bring yoga to a group of people or meditation to a group of people. And that, again, is for you to experience what it's like to be of service and to share what you love. And then prior to the training, what I recommend is reading two books for sure, and they really prep you for the heart space or the head space that we're going to be in the conversations, and that is The Voice of Knowledge by Don Miguel Ruiz. You've probably heard of his book, The Four Agreements. So good. This one's called The Voice of Knowledge. And The Art of Possibility is one of my favorite book of all time by Benjamin Zander. It's just a beautiful book. And both of those books are amazing audiobooks. I love listening to audiobooks. I do it all the time when washing dishes, walking my dog, or just moving around. And those are really well done audiobooks if you'd prefer to listen to them. And then there's a bunch of other books that we recommend. Not some are recommended, some are you have to get. And those you can get online. You can borrow them from other people who've done the program. That comes in that list that you get. It's a lot of them you're going to want to have, like the anatomy book. You're going to just look at it every once in a while and go back and look at the Ray Long book. And the yoga history book also is just, there's just so much information we can't provide in 200 hours. So I try to give you like the best of the best of all the information I've found out there. And then as you keep expanding your yoga journey, you'll delve into chakras more. You'll delve into the history more. You'll delve into Yamas and niyamas more. You'll delve into anatomy more, really what you're excited about. You'll get focused in, but you'll get a flavor of it, all of it through the program. So the texts I've recommended and are required are really good ones that you'll want to go back and look at and are more like referential. You'll go back and look at. So they're all really good books. Anything else I'm missing there, Nick?
No, I think that's it.
Okay.
We've already
And
touched
don't be
about this.
overwhelmed. Yeah, don't be overwhelmed by it's not a huge amount of work. Again, it's really what you want to get out of it. Um, there is a timeline that I put at the end of the program, like that you have 2 months after we complete to get your post work in, and that really is just an arbitrary date to give you like something to work towards. And I've had people extend their post work papers out a long time, like years. Every once in a while, I'll get like, "Oh, I just finished all my work from like 2016." I'm like, "Amazing! Here's your certificate." Like that, you don't have to redo anything to complete it if it takes you a bit longer. There's no like expiry of your training. We do have people come back and renew the program, like review to renew it's called, where they do come back and repeat the program just because every whatever different stage of life you're in, this work brings new awareness, you discover new things in the work of yourself and in the teaching that you may not have seen that first time around. So there's that too. Pre-work list. Oh, good. I went through all that. Oh, the one thing I didn't mention was to memorize the PYC Flow. And what Nick was saying about having access to all of our classes, we've got a whole bunch of on-demand classes. The best way to memorize the flow is to do it. If you can get to a studio, great. If you can't get to a studio, start to just take some on-demand classes. And if you have that block, like I'm not good at memorizing things, that's me. Don't worry, because we're literally going to break it up section by section on day one, and as we go, you'll just teach a little bit each time, so it'll start to all make sense. But if you can start to get it in your nervous system, like do the flow, then when you're teaching, it'll be like, oh yeah, I remember what comes next because my body remembers what comes next, and the knowledge will be in your body and not so much up here. So then when you're teaching, it just kind of comes through your body instead of trying to think what pose comes next. And so that's really helpful to have it memorized.
Mhm.
And those are the books there that we have for the required list.
Yeah, and I'd say four of these can be bought off of Amazon, number one, two, three, and five. And then number four, we provide you with the link and you can purchase directly from the author's wife who sells this. It's like a beautiful manual and just so much content and information in that one.
Yeah, that history of yoga manual is, I think it's like a 500-hour training or 300-hour training just in itself, just in the history manual. So there's just so much information in there. And it's just like a PDF. So you can get it as a PDF and print it on like at Staples in black and white. It doesn't come as a book. It's just a PDF that she sends you. Okay. This is just showing that there's a certain requirement that Yoga Alliance, so Yoga Alliance is a registrar in the United States that oversees all the yoga schools around the world. Really, it's a global thing. It's all the schools we register with Yoga Alliance to say we want to be part of being acknowledged that we have a good training and we hit this, and this. We check all the boxes. So this is just showing the boxes that it asks us to check, and we do all of these and then some. I like to do a little more. We do a lot more teaching methodology, but it could be, I guess, same techniques, and we add in the transformational work. So bonus. So
Okay.
after you graduate, you can apply for Yoga Alliance certification, which is the certification that any gym, any city, say you want to work for the city of Toronto, they'll ask you for your Yoga Alliance certificate. So our school is registered, and you will also apply for that with Yoga Alliance, and then you'll be a Yoga Alliance teacher. You can teach anywhere, not just at PYC. So like, please go out and share it everywhere, anywhere, in businesses and schools, with hockey teams, with other yoga studios, with gyms, with condo buildings that have yoga rooms. We just want you to get out there and start healing the world and sharing yoga.
There's some really cool opportunities in companies that give you the opportunity to teach abroad at resorts in Mexico, Costa Rica. So you sign up for these companies and it costs a lot less for you to go, and you get to stay there for a week. You get to bring a friend at the same price, and it's a lot cheaper. And you teach yoga once a day, and it's a little bit cheaper for you to go, which is it's something I've thought about. I'll maybe end up doing one day because it's that great. It's a great opportunity to travel, teach yoga, and see the world. So, all right, Kinley and I have done a lot of talking already. We'd love for you to engage with the people who are here as well. And so, breaking you out into breakout rooms, this is a technique we use during the program so that you get to share with smaller groups. And so, I'm going to put you into a breakout room. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with one other person just for a minute. So 30 seconds each. And then I'll type in there saying, okay, 30 seconds up, next person share. So we'll bring you back in just 1 minute. Okay. And if you're not able to talk on the phone, you can always just come back to the main room or you can type it out. Okay.
Are you doing them, Nick?
Yeah, I can do it quickly. Yeah. Okay. We'll see you back here in a minute.
Yay. Happy. Thanks, Nick.
All right. Thanks, everyone. How was that?
Sorry, Nick, I just muted you.
That's okay. Hallie, how did that go? How did your
It was
breakout room go?
it was good. Yeah, it was great. I'm like very, very excited to do this. I'm thinking about doing a winter program.
Very cool. Yeah, what brought you to this info session? What's bringing you towards doing yoga teacher training?
So a long time ago I used to do moksha or moto
Mhm.
yoga for a long time, and then started a family, got really busy, and that sort of had to pause for a bit. And then 2.5 years ago, my younger son got diagnosed with leukemia,
Oh,
and I've just been basically like I lost my job, and I've just been doing that for 2.5 years, taking care of him. And he's doing really well now, and he just finished like his last chemo. So
mm,
I want to do something for myself. And a year ago, I joined the like PYC Kitchener, and I just like love everyone there so much. And they've been so supportive with me, like going through this journey with my son.
mm.
And I just like, I really wanted to do the teacher training. And like my mom and everyone's so happy that I'm doing something for myself. So that's why I'm here.
Ah, that's beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Hallie. Who else will share? Why are you here? What brings you? What gravitates you to a training like this?
For me, it's therapeutic as much as the physical part of it, um, mentally and physically. Um, I'm better. I'm absolutely in better physical condition I am now than I was 20 years ago. Like there's no question I can do things now that I couldn't have done, possibly done. Mentally, a lot stronger. I had a couple of health issues come up that have been eliminated. Like they've literally disappeared from my life. Which now that I have the time to be and again the instructors, Phil Etobicoke and at Rathburn have been very inspirational. And yeah, I know you both your reputations, and I just it's time. I
Hmm.
feel like it's time, and that's why I'm here.
I love
Which
that.
program are you thinking of doing?
Pardon me,
Which program are you thinking of doing?
Nicaragua.
Woohoo!
Yeah, I'd like to go and just have that be my only focus for the two weeks because I do have a lot going on, and I'd rather just. I think for me, it might be the best thing is to just be there for the 12th or the 2 weeks
Mhm.
and
Amazing.
and just that's my entire focus.
Hmm.
Love it.
So
Perfect.
yeah,
I love it. Yeah, so that'll be late April
okay, all right,
2025. Yeah.
okay, great.
Thanks. Thanks so much,
And
John.
And then with the studio opening too close to here.
We need teachers.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Okay.
Who else will share just a little bit? Why are you here? What would you hope to get out of yoga teacher training?
Hi, I can share. It's Angie.
Amazing.
So I'm not even 100% sure that I want to teach. I've been doing yoga on and off for quite a few years, kind of just here and there, but this is more a journey for myself. And where it leads me is, we will see. But I've talked to one of the studios in my town about doing the community work as part of the course requirements. And so there is a possibility, but mostly it's just for me, and more for the spiritual aspect. I mean, the physical is great too, but yeah, it's more just my own self journey that I'm looking for.
That's beautiful. So many people come through and have that exact sentiment where it's like, I want to do something for myself, and I want to learn more about the spiritual aspects of what I believe in. Who am I? And a lot of people come in with zero intention to teach, and they have beautiful programs. So that's fantastic, Angie. And that's great. There's a studio in town as well that you could potentially teach at. Sorry, one more question. What are you thinking of, fall, winter, or Nicaragua?
Well, I mean, Nicaragua sounds really great, but I'm actually thinking probably the fall one.
Cool. Sounds
Do
good.
a couple in-persons and a couple online.
Amazing. We actually have a few people up from Sudbury. I know it's further north than Meaford, but there's a few people from Sudbury who have already signed up, and they'll come in as well and visit for a few weekends. So
cool. Good.
Okay, amazing. Well, let's jump back into the slide unless anyone else wants to share. Why are you here? Anyone else? Okay. Okay, so we'll jump right into tuition. You may have seen this online already. However, these are the current costs for the program. We don't have Nicaragua up just yet because we haven't put it on the website, and we should be doing that within the next week or so. These are the costs. What's super important to know is that we don't want the financials to ever be the reason you don't do a training like this. We have very great payment plans that we can work with you on. And yeah, I mean,
is the one to talk to about that. He'll help you.
Exactly. Text, call, email. We can work out a plan. We can work out anything to make it work. And yeah. Let's see. I think lastly, we have a video.
Oh, wait, do we have a discount? When is the early bird done for fall?
So that's right. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. The early bird is ending in 2 weeks' time, actually. So on August 13th. So if you are considering the fall 200-hour program, it's right now the Canadian cost is $3,500, and you get to save $400 off the full tuition. So the program itself is $3,900, but right now, just for 2 more weeks, it's a $400 saving. So. And then
if you're doing the winter one, you can get the super early bird and do that before September 11th, 2024.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
So $3,200 for the super early bird, and then the early bird, $3,500, full tuition, $3,900.
Oh wait, so that one you would save $700.
Oh, yeah, I need to fix that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Thanks, Nick.
Okay. We have a video. So I love showing this video because it really touches on everything that we've touched on in this training, but you also get to hear from other participants. You get to hear from Kinley once again. And so let's play this, and then we can answer any questions you might have.
Yeah, if you have any questions. The Power Yoga Can.
Yes.
Go ahead. And a 200-hour teacher training program is so much more than yoga. Obviously, that's the thing that most people come into the practice for, or thinking about being a yoga teacher for, is the physical asana, like the poses that we do. But our training and our community at Power Yoga Canada is really about empowering people into action in their lives. So in this 200-hour teacher training, we focus on helping people awaken to their highest potential and the possibility of things that they didn't even know possible, that's not even in the realm of knowing.
I genuinely feel that I have found my voice. I've always been the person who felt very conscious about her accent, conscious about will people understand me. But after this program, I feel really strong. I feel more confident to put myself out there and just be me.
I stood up in front of a group of 30 people today and taught yoga. And a week ago, I never saw this side of the room. Totally different perspective. And everyone being so involved in going through all these activities that we've experienced. And I didn't have that same fear, that same nervousness when I was up here today. Whereas when you feel like you're apart or separate from others, you build that boundary, that divide, right? And essentially what we're doing here is breaking that down.
I was trying to do this program, but I wasn't confident enough because I have rheumatoid arthritis and my wrist is very weak. I'm actually able to do the poses in a modification way, and I have actually come out of a lot of my insecurity and found myself, gain more confidence and let go of a lot of negative thoughts and emotions.
Being here in an intensive program, you would think that the focus would be on just learning the yoga postures, but the truth is it's been so much about community and connecting with each other on a deeper emotional and mental level. It's amazing how in such a short space of time we've been able to really come together as a group and find unity both in our weaknesses and our strengths. So we connect on a level where each of us maybe has some insecurities or nervousness around what type of yoga instructors we'll be, how we'll be able to participate in the community, only to find out that by being here together, we actually lift each other up and strengthen each other because we work to support each other through each stage of the process. And it's very clear while we're here that this community goes well beyond just being here over these 2 weeks, that it's about the PYC community at large, that will hold each other up and support each other and provide strength in the mental, physical, and emotional stages of being a yoga instructor.
There really aren't any words to describe this experience. The community, the people, the love, the transformation. It's technically yoga teacher training, but it's so much more than that. It's about transforming ourselves as human beings, people, how we integrate with ourselves and the world, each other. It's just a phenomenal experience.
We use yoga, but we actually are up to waking people up to their highest potential, and then they leave the program for sure able to teach a flow. But the biggest benefit of this 200-hour teacher training program is they come out lit up. They go home and they heal their relationships. They start to live more passionately in what they want to do with their lives. They find new possibilities in everything they do. So their whole life is enriched through this program, and they can teach yoga. And they're really, yes, there'll still be a powerful yoga teacher coming out the other end.
I think the one thing I really didn't expect was how much personal development really took place. The asanas are one thing, learning the postures, but really being open, I feel lighter than I did walking in here. Kinley does a fantastic job of allowing us to be here now. Really the whole point of all of this is community. I've found a new meaning of community. I knew it was a word before, but now I feel like I've experienced it.
I love that. I haven't seen that in so long. I'm like, whoa. They're so inspiring.
It brings up some good memories.
Such good memories.
Oh.
I love it. Any questions? Oh, one thing I'll say before if you have any questions is if you are at a studio, just talk to people who've done it. That's the best thing, is ask people about it. And if you don't go to a studio, just ask Nick. He can even like connect you with people who've done the program, and you can, or there's tons of testimonials on YouTube. But also, if you just want to talk to somebody and ask like real questions about what actually their experience was, he can give you. I think that's the best, is talking to people who've been through it. Because Nick and I will tell you it's amazing and you should come. But it's really good to hear people's, and often people will be mysterious about it. They're like, you just have to do it, and that's what they'll tell you. They won't tell you much about it. Just go do it. Does anyone have any questions? Any logistic questions?
I wanted to know, when you get access to like the online classes, are they the recordings or is it the one where you join like live classes?
We're doing both, right, Nick?
Sorry, say that once again.
She's
Like,
asking if
you
it's
know,
on demand or Zoom.
when
Well,
you
so
guys give us access to the like,
to the online classes that you get with the membership, yeah, 6 months of PYC at home Zoom, and then 6 months of Power Yoga at home on demand.
So
So
you
on
get
oh,
demand, yeah,
oh,
you get both, and you can start
oh,
them at
that's
different
nice.
times. Totally fine.
And when would we get access to that?
As soon as you register.
That's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
Kinley's.
Zoom classes are really fun because we record from Sudbury, Oakville, and Burlington. So you get three different locations, and we have at least two a day, I think, right? Two a day?
Yeah, at least most
At
of the time
least two a
three a
day.
day,
Three a day.
and a variety of classes, which is really great. I have a class on there Mondays 9:30 live as well. Um,
I still do Zoom classes, like from my Cleveland little. I have this little room up in an attic, and I like to tap in on Sundays with our Sudbury team because they do a power restore where they do like half the class is restorative yoga, and I just love. Sometimes I just love to like log in and hi guys. And there's something about that live connection. If you have your camera on, they'll actually like interact with you, and it's like you just feel like you're part of something. The Zoom classes are lovely, and then the on demand are pre-recorded. But
mhm.
yeah, you get access to both. That's great. Any other questions? Did we cover everything?
Are you guys gonna teach us like how to assist, like do assists as a teacher?
We do a little bit. I used to have the assisting in the 200 hour, and what I found was what I was sharing about a moment ago is like there's just so much in yoga, that I kind of give you a little taste of everything the 200 hour. We've intentionally taken out 40 hours of assisting and have a separate program now called the Assisting Intensive, and Denise leads that a bunch of times throughout the year. Um, and that's on the website. You can, and anyone can do that. You don't have to be a 200-hour teacher to take that program. But our teachers who teach for PYC are required to do that program also. So it's kind of like that's the only other required program. It's like a leg of the 200-hour that at some point you got to do the assisting because it's so important. Having said that, we do assist in the 200-hour teacher training program all the time. Like every time we're labbing, you're on each other, you're learning assists, you're learning it, but it's in a way of learning, alignment learning, the the Tadasana cues and shoulder integration, and thigh rotation. You're learning through touch. But when you do the 40-hour teacher training specifically just for assisting, it's a lot different because she goes through your intention of touch and how to go in and out of the person's space. Like there's a whole dance to it. It's like an art. But yes, you do learn to assist. You will come out feeling confident in that you could walk around the room as you're teaching and give a couple assists here and there. But I definitely recommend that you do the assisting intensive at some point too. Some people do it before the 200-hour teacher training program, and they like that because then they come in with already a physical confidence and touch. But we do use assisting. For me, I learn all through embodied learning, and so those of you on Zoom, you'll do like hands-on, like when we're doing that alignment, we'll have you like do your own body and feel the rotations or feel the actions of hugging in on your own body, and you could also, drag a roommate in the room and use them, or a sister or brother. Like, hey, come in here. I want to work on you.
There is an assisting program coming up at Kitchener Waterloo in September as well. So that's a great opportunity. And then there's one in Oakville in November, Oshawa March. So
Any other questions, Angie?
So I think you guys already covered this off, but I just wanted to confirm. So this teacher training allows to teach anywhere, just it's not specific to PYC.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, we do. You learn vinyasa. This is a vinyasa style of yoga, which is moving with breath. So it's a dynamic stretch, a dynamic strengthening practice. And all of that is for I feel like the mental, the spiritual, emotional, mental connection through the body of movement is what makes it so powerful. And we do have a section that what we do together is where you look at special populations, how to teach one-on-one, how to teach privately, and then also like I have you do like a group project where you're brainstorming with a couple of the people in the group of what special population, like, oh, I want to work with kids, or I want to work with chair yoga, or people with we have incarcerated prison yoga. It's called Prison Yoga Project. We've done training around that. We have people who are interested in corporate yoga, working with um, addiction. So like we do look at how to take this practice and adapt it so it works for anyone. Chair yoga, working with elderly. So you can, once you get the premise of the whole teacher training, which is just meet people where they're at, you know, empower them into action and what they can do and where you're meeting them where they're at. And it might be sitting in a chair and just breathing your arms up and down and gently twisting. And so you find a way to be with the person where you're at. So you will learn how to teach other populations in a, like, again, a little sampling section. You can teach anywhere. We have our teachers at all kinds of gyms and other yoga studios, and lots of privates and lots of corporate yoga and teams. A lot of teams call on yoga teachers to bring them in and do stretching, like off ice training for hockey teams and figure skaters and lots of stuff like that in schools.
I feel like the world of yoga, people doing yoga, it's just expanding. People are seeing the benefits, and there's just it's popping up more and more. So I think the need for teachers is going to continually grow, and yeah, we know how amazing this practice is. So until every single person in this world is doing yoga, we need more teachers.
And I'll say that for me, um, I grew up going to a United Church. My father was Buddhist, so he wasn't going to church, but my mom would take us all to church on Sundays. And my father was a Buddhist, and or is a Buddhist, and then I went through a phase in my early 20s, late teens of sort of like, I don't know, but what resonates with me and on the spiritual journey. And I started to look at all different religions and spirituality. And when I found yoga in my late 20s, um, it gave me a connection to God. And I was even uncomfortable saying the word God. Like I hadn't really landed in my comfort with what is that mysterious entity out there. And yoga gave me that access in a real neutral, welcoming, non-denominational way of feeling spirit and feeling connection. And I feel like the world needs that more than anything. Is yoga translates, like the Sanskrit word yoga means to yoke, right? To union, to bring together. And I really feel that if people give yoga a chance and realize it's non-denominational, it's not a religion, that it is the bridge of accessing a collective healing where people see each other, see yourself in each other, see our similarities instead of trying to always be, feeling different and apart. I just feel that's the most important thing. We happen to sweat and flow together. I mean, I've had some amazing spiritual experiences just in the sweating, the moving with people, and then I'm crying in savasana with like joy, and I don't even know, like, I don't know what happened. Like, it was just a power yoga flow, but it's something magical is happening in this vinyasa practice, and I really believe that it's like it's healing, and we just need it in so many more places. We scratched the surface of reaching people, and so you can take it off and go everywhere with it and
Thank you.
share it. Any other questions?
I just wanted to know, is the deep flow, teaching the deep flow, is that part of this or is that separate?
It is separate, and it's a great question because it's like this thorn in my side that keeps coming up and up and up. We don't have an official training yet, but it's coming. So the way you train for deep flow right now is um, the studio that you teach at, because all of our our population of yoga studios, the power yoga sequence is the blueprint, and then deep flow is an offshoot of it, and we have a couple other offshoots, and we have another one coming up the pipeline, like a hot core, like a hot Pilates, with yoga kind of sandwiching it in. So there's things like that come at the pipeline, but deep flow is one of those, and deep flow is right now how you're trained for it is through your studio's director of yoga. So every studio kind of does deep flow a little bit different if you go to the different studios, and we are going to be streamlining that soon. But we have deep flow teachers come in the teacher training. Like we will do a deep flow practice, and you'll get the rhythm, and we'll talk about how it's sequenced a bit differently. But that'll be a separate little module you could do. We have all kinds of other continuing education modules. So, but right now the training for it is you take the classes, you shadow teachers, and then the director of yoga will have you teach one, and then if they feel like you're confident and you got it, then you can start teaching it. That's the flow for right now, but it will be changing soon. We'll be offering like a 5-hour module on it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Great questions, everyone. This is so fun. We can just hang.
I will end up following up with all of you via phone call or email. So just, if you have any other questions, I'll check in and make sure that everything's good, and just reach out whenever you need anything whatsoever. It's
And I see all the emails that flow through the info account, info at Power Yoga Canada or info at poweryogacollective.com. And I do have Kinley at poweryogacanada.com, but I'm not as good on that one. I'm very organized in the info account. And if you have any questions or want to talk a bit more or know a bit more about me, I usually recommend like trying to take, if you're looking at yoga trainings in different schools, try to take a class with the facilitator. And having said that, I'm mostly in Cleveland right now. I am coming up to Oakville in a couple weeks, and I do teach every time I'm home. August, like around 11th, 12th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, somewhere in there, I'm going to be home. I'll teach some classes in Oakville if you're around. If you want to just come meet me and take a class, I have a bunch of classes on demand. You'll kind of get a feel for who I am. But even having said that, I don't even think you need to anymore, because I really feel like who we are as PYC is so represented. Like what you'll get in our teacher training program is so represented in each and every one of our teachers out there in all of our studios. So you will get a flavor. Definitely go, if you haven't been to a PYC, go to a studio, because we are crazy and we are very different. Go to a studio. We like loud music. We like to talk. We like to hug, really sweaty hugs. We like to ask your name, and we like to talk and find out all about you. So I definitely recommend you go to a studio and make sure you're down with our vibe, because we definitely, we what's that expression? We go to the beat of our own drum, and it feels different. It feels different at PYC. So I want to make sure that you're down with that, and because it really is about belonging and community for me and for us. It really is about belonging and community. We want you to feel like you're seen and you're heard. And so coming to a studio, at least feeling that, then you're like, okay, this is what the teacher training is going to feel like. And then you'll kind of get a sense of who I am through all the beautiful people out there that are teaching in studios. But yeah, I feel so blessed I get to do this. I can't tell you. And one thing I haven't said in this call that's really important is that why I love leading the 200 teacher training. I've led so many. Like I used to work for Baron Baptiste, who is this big yogi in the US, and I've been on over 40, I worked on over 40 200-hour yoga teacher trainings with him alone before I opened up PYC. How many hours is that? 8,000 hours. I have over 8,000 hours of yoga teacher training. And every single time I facilitated in that program or participated or was on team, I learned something new. And every time I facilitate our 200 programs, I've been leading them since 2009, over I don't know how many, couple year. Um, I get to be in the work with you. There's a never ending knowledge of who am I. I'm constantly discovering something new about myself through the program, through every participant. I learn something new. And so I just want you to know that I don't have it like I have anything. I don't have the answers. I don't have like the the thing you're looking for, but what I am really good at and what I'm magical at is holding the container for you to discover for yourself the nugget within you, the gold, the magic in you. I'm really good at holding container in group experiences, and then you discover it for yourself, right? Because the answer isn't out here with me or anyone else, it's in you. And through together we get to discover ourselves. It's the most, I don't know, I feel so blessed that I get to say that that's my job, and I love doing it. So I really hope you can join us on a program. We've got those 3 coming up that are for sure locked in with dates. And yeah, if you have any questions, Nick or I am available.